you're playing guitar and you're over 50. Truth be told, I'm playing guitar, I am over 60. I just turned 60. "60-year-old guitar player in Orlando, Florida. How does that work out?" And I play gigs relatively steady. I would point to the villages first and say, what do you see there? So let's look at some of the bands. There are what a 60-year-old would call oldies bands. There are bands that are playing what a 60-year-old would call classic rock. I would also point to actually anywhere in Orlando. I wouldn't consider myself, oh, I got to play a gig for old people, because I'm playing a variety of everything. Some of it is older, and sometimes I'm a better fit in some situations than in other situations. But there's no reason to not do it. If you're thinking about becoming a guitar player and you are over 60, or you think you're too old. Do you think you're too old to play guitar now? Do you think you're too old to be an entertainer? I would completely disagree. And here's some of the things that have been said to me. I'm in a guitar store and I'm noodling around on a guitar. I played my first gig when I was 15. A youngster walked by. He says, yeah, all the good guitar players are older guys. So there you go. Even the young people that want to hear a good guitar player might be looking to somebody who's a little bit older. And it just kind of comes with the territory that, well, you know, you lived through the Aerosmith era. You lived through, you know, Van Halen. You were there. And so that experience is completely different. A casting director sent me a text today and said, well, can you send me, and I say a casting director because it's a casting director for an event at a major theme park. You can figure out which one that is. And the casting director said in this text, the Gen Zers think that, you know, they have their own conception of what is classic rock. So what is classic rock? I'm standing at a stage in the Villages and I look over at the guys next to me and I say, hey, do you want to play a Green Day song? And I think that, you know, I'm like, oh no, I can't do that. It's hard rock. It's kind of punk. I don't know. And the bass player looks at me and he said, this is a 55 and older community. Those folks were in high school when Green Day was popular. And so we did. We played a Green Day song and the crowd went crazy. It went over really well. It was a good move. So, you know, do what you do. I keep going back to good is good. If you're a decent musician, if you've got a voice, if you don't have a voice and you have a good presentation, yeah, go with that. It doesn't, you know, were the Ramones fantastic guitar players? It's all presentation. If you have a good presentation, do it, you know, and work on that craft. So myself, I played guitar all my life. I played guitar since I was 15. And I didn't start singing until I moved to Florida, and I realized that if I'm going to make money on a regular basis, I'm going to need to rely on me to do it. Meaning, if everyone else is gone and I want to go to work, I'm going to have to do it myself. So that means I need to sing the songs. I need to stop relying on somebody else to show up for work so that I can get paid. I'm going to have to do it alone. And that's what I did. And that's what I recommend that anyone does, is hone that craft, learn how to be you on stage, learn how to, at any age. It isn't just, I tell the young people, you get one chance to make a first impression, and that's with sales, music. Anytime that you have to step in front of somebody, you get one chance. That first impression only happens one time, and make it a good one. And especially with music, you have to, pull from within, get up there, and hit that note right out of the gate. That's, you're setting the baseline for what you're going to be able to do. But that's me. So if you're thinking about music at your age, at 50, at 60, again, in 2023, I did 265 gigs. It's out there. The money's out there. The gigs are out there. It's a hustle. Do you have the stamina? For example, today I worked at my cast member job. I'm going to go home and I have the rest of the day off. But tomorrow I have a gig in the evening. So I'm going to work my cast member job. It's a little bit of hustle. That's what this channel is all about, the gig lane, because it's all about the gig work. It's about that freedom of I don't have to work in the morning if I don't want to. I could give that shift away and just sleep in and then go play my music gig. And on some days, that's exactly what I do. But on other days, I like to look at music as bonus money. And so I'm gonna work my part-time job and then go home, take a nap like an old guy in the afternoon. I'm gonna walk the dog, spend some time with my wife, and then I'm gonna get re-energized and go play my 4-hour gig. I'm gonna do a video on that. That'll be my tomorrow video. I'll do a video on that gig. It's a great gig, and we'll talk about it then. And I'll even talk about the audition and how I got that gig. And that entertainment director, speaking of age, I said to him, do you think I'll get too old to work here? And he said, no, we'll probably always have a gig. Even if you get old, that'll be your thing. So even when you're too old, you won't be too old. And so I love that answer. And when I was contracted at Disney Springs, and the traffic, by the way, this is I-4. It's amazing. It's I-4 at 2 o'clock. Look at me go, breaking the law. 2 o'clock. I wasn't even looking for accidents. I should be. Probably just blew right past him. I just blow by the debris. So when the whole band was going through the orientation at Disney Springs, they have you come down and you meet with a bunch of managers, and they go through the whole process of, here's where you're gonna park, and here's the comings and goings. It was very nice. And just a great team had put us in place down there, and this was 5-6 years ago. Had put us in place, and it was just it was an incredible experience. But when we met with them, we were walking through Disney Springs, and I said to one of the managers, "Am I the oldest guitar player you got down here?" And he kind of paused, and he went, "No." No, you're not. I was probably 54 or 55, and when we got that contract. If you're interested, I'll make a video about that process and how that went. If that's your aspiration, or just interested in the story. It was an incredible story, actually. I might just make that video anyway. So, so not the oldest guitar player at Disney Springs. I think still I'm not the oldest guitar player. I have a player that's in my band that's older than me, and he's amazing, and he is just a fantastic guy to work with. Musicians, some will tell you this, some will not tell you this. When it comes to playing in a band and taking a gig, and this is if you're a real working musician, there's 3 things that are important to take in any gig. Musicians don't all live by this rule, and they will tell you that they do or they don't, but it is the reality of walking away happy from a gig that you took. 3 things. The 3 things are good music, good people, good money. And as long as you have 2 of the 3 things, you will be happy, and you will come out of that going, I had a great time. So even if you don't like the music, if it's good money and good people, you'll go, oh yeah, I don't care about any of this music. I never wanted to play in a polka band / Elvis impersonator in my life, but I love the people and I love the money, so I had a great time. So that is really, really the truth. Or if you just love the music and the people, maybe the money's not so good, but you're still gonna walk away going, hey, that was awesome. So I would do that again. And I try to, as somebody who has a lot of musicians that work for me, they know that I'm always trying to get the most money. I have a lot of respect for everybody that plays music with me, especially I have a lot of respect for their craft and what they put into it to try and make the product that has my name on it. They do their best to bring it forward, to make it as, I say this, they're so talented. The guys that work for me are so talented. It can't be hard work, but I do get texts from them before gigs where they're asking about transitions and feel and certain things. So they're doing their homework and they care. And that's a great feeling when somebody's looking at the sets and they're coming to you going, I'm ready. I'm going to be ready to kick this out of the park, when we get up there. So I love that about everyone that I work with. I love that they're open-minded about the whole process. And we'll talk about those guys. I need to make a video about that also, because there are some really interesting, amazing, talented people in Orlando that are out there looking for work. It goes back to, in this again, it doesn't matter how old you are. If you can sell it, sell it. If you can sell it, sell it. If you're going to be pub guy, there's a lot of pubs. If you're going to be, rock band person, get out there and find that situation, whether you need to be a side player. There's different, I personally feel there are different rules for being a good side player than the rules for being a front person, or to be a collaborative, a voice in a band. And honestly, I don't know that I know that much about being a voice in a band. I am the voice in the band. So it's a little bit different for me, but do it. I would say you're never too old to make it happen, and the audience is willing to accept what you do, regardless of how old you are. Good is good. So just be good. So here's a great story, and I don't know if I have time for it. I was doing one set at a music festival. It was an awesome music festival, and we were hired, and the money was decent for 1 hour. And the bass player that I was working with, his flight didn't leave. He was playing a gig in New York, and he couldn't get back to Orlando. So he was texting me in the middle of the night, hey, they changed my flight, blah, blah, blah. It started to transpire as later and later he wasn't going to make it. So we are looking for every bass player to try and learn, 8 songs and work with us. So I find this bass player who I'm like, oh boy, I've never met him. Good golly. And so I get on the phone with him, and he sounds very old. And, and maybe he was, and in the middle, but he was so positive. He's like, I love your set list. Who plays these songs? These are great songs. So he was introduced to me by the guy that's on the plane. He's, the guy's coming from New York. He's on the plane. I'm not going to make it. He's texting everyone from the plane that, I'm going to find a bass player for Tim. And so I get on the phone with this guy. He's available. He said he would get over there. And he says to me, who does these songs? I love this set list. I can't wait to play it. I could be there. And then in the middle of the conversation, he's like, hey, do they have anywhere to sit down? Because I can't stand for 45 minutes. Which I'm like, okay, let's see what's going to happen with this guy. So he showed up. He was great. He was a chain smoker, whatever. But he was fantastic. We jumped up there. We did our thing. He played the songs. I kept looking at him, and he's just smiling and have a great old time. Again, if you're thinking about doing it, don't let your age get in your way. The work is out there. Network, meet people. If you're moving to Florida, what am I going to do? How am I going to meet people? Message me. I can help you meet people. There's ways. I started not knowing anybody. I'm from Detroit. So that's my story. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.